Hey everyone, Dan here with another review of The Mandalorian, this time for episode 5 of season 2, or chapter 13, called The Jedi. Now, if you have not watched the episode yet, get the hell out of here. You don't want to have me giving you the spoilers, so be gone, go away, and I'm going to continue on, so click off now. Okay, this is the episode we've all been waiting for. This is written and directed by Dave Filoni, and we are introduced to Ahsoka Tano. Now, Dave was the co-creator of this character, so it makes a lot of sense that this was the episode that she appears. Now, she's played by Rosario Dawson, and Rosario does an amazing job. Now, she didn't voice the character in the cartoon series, which they do like to use, like when they used Katie Sackhoff for Bo-Katan. But in this case, I think it was a good casting choice, and I have a feeling that, I'm going to say this now before I get too far in, this felt like a backdoor pilot, like we were being introduced to what's going to be the next Disney Plus series for Star Wars. And if that's the case, I'm good with it. I think it'll be awesome. Anyway, so we're going to get into the episode, and this was probably even more of the samurai western feel that we've been getting. This is like it turned up to 11. The whole thing starts off on the forest planet of Corvos, which is not very foresty looking at this point. And we find out why, because the magistrate has come to the area and is basically capturing, took over a city and is strip mining it of all its resources. Ahsoka has come there because she believes the magistrate has information she wants and is telling her to give up and give her the information or she'll be back. And she does this by attacking the town, not actually getting into it, but just mowing through all of their troops, just one after another. It is a pretty intense little battle scene, and it's all done in fog and darkness, so the lightsabers light up and she's there and kills somebody, and then they turn off and she's gone. And it is a really neat opening. We also meet the magistrate, played by Diana Lee Inosanto, who I believe is the goddaughter of Bruce Lee. She's also a stunt woman. So the fact that she played the character shows you that by the end she was going to be fighting by the end. And she's got a gunslinger working for her, a guy named Lang, who is played by Michael Biehn. He was Johnny Ringo in Tombstone, he was Reese in Terminator, and he was also in Alien. So, I mean, this is a guy, it's just great to see him on the screen as well. And he's the cowboy, and it's a neat little setup, but she gives him a day, and then, of course, Mando shows up with the baby, because this is where Bo-Katan told him to go. And he goes to the town, and the town, the magistrate wants to get rid of a Jedi, and who better to take out a Jedi than a Mandalorian bounty hunter? So she offers him a spear made out of pure Beskar in exchange for killing the Jedi. Well, he doesn't actually say he'll do it after checking out the spear. He just says, "Where do I find this Jedi?" So he doesn't actually agree to do it. And then he goes out and finds her, and they have a quick skirmish until he goes, hey, Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me. We need to talk. And she looks up past him, sees the child, and goes, well, I hope it's about him. And that's where things get blown off the rails. She's able to talk to the child. They have a communication. And we find out the child has a name. Grogu. The baby's name is Grogu. And he was raised for a while on Coruscant in the Jedi Temple. And somehow when Anakin showed up to destroy it and the Order 66 went out, he was taken from the temple and hidden. And he's been kind of hiding and alone all the time since. So he was there for like 21 years, and now he spent like the last almost 30 years on his own. And Ahsoka notices a bond going between Grogu and Din Djarin. Well, the next day she says, okay, let me test him. We'll see how much of the Force he uses. And she does sends him a rock, and he's supposed to send it back, and he won't. And then she has Din hold up the rock and says, and he's like, "Come on, kid, take the rock." And she's like, "Grogu." He's like, "Grogu." And every time Din says Grogu, the child just kind of looks up with this look on his face, like, "Oh, Daddy said my name." So that's really super cute. But he ends up pulling out the little shifter handle from his pocket and says, "You want this? You can have it." And then, of course, Grogu goes and flies across to him. So Din thinks this is great. Look, he can do it. And she's like, "I can't train him. He's attached to you." And attachments, allows the Jedi to be sucked into the dark side. And basically, she's freaking out because it's Anakin. She doesn't want another repeat of Anakin. And since she's, if you don't know who Ahsoka Tano is, I can give a brief update on her, or a recap of her, but basically she was Anakin's Padawan and was devastated when he went and turned to the dark side. She got disillusioned with the Jedi and broke away. She appears a lot in the Clone Wars and Rebels. She shows up in Rebels as well. So those could be worth checking out if you want to know more about Ahsoka Tano. Otherwise, there's a bunch of videos online that can give you the background in like 5 minutes anyway. So she says she won't do it, and he's like, "But I need you to." And he says, "By the way, the magistrate sent me to kill you, but I, didn't take the job. But, this is how many people they have. This is the army they have inside, and you're going to need some help. So I'll help you if you help him get trained." Well, she accepts that, and they work together. What happens is she confronts the town, goes into the town, and draws off all the soldiers while he sneaks in and frees the prisoners they had that they were going to use as bait. And then she's taken out all these droids, and eventually there's two showdowns. It's Ahsoka versus the magistrate, and it's Lang, the gunfighter, and Mando. And it's a neat little showdown. They're paralleling each other, but you basically have the samurai fight scene with Ahsoka Tano and the magistrate, and then you have the old Western gun, showdown between Din and Lang. And it's really neat that they're paralleling these, and they're going back and forth, and they end exactly how you think they will, but Din ends up having to kill Lang, and Ahsoka Tano fights and ends up taking the spear away, and then sword to the neck says, "Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" And I'd say about 70% of Star Wars fans went, "Oh my God!" And the rest just went, "Who's Thrawn?" But anyway, Thrawn is a huge character from the book series, from the cartoons as well. And this is a big, big character, I think, from the video games too. So this is a big deal. And that's why I think it's a backdoor pilot, because Ahsoka Tano going after Thrawn is a series on its own. And I think that's what this was just set up. So I think that's where we're going with that. She gives Mando the spear as his payment. He says, "I can't take it. I didn't actually complete the job." She goes, "Yes, but this belongs with the Mandalorian." So he takes it. Then he goes to get the kid, and we get this really sad scene of him preparing to say goodbye to the child. And then when he's about to give Grogu to her, she says, "I can't train him. But if you take him to Tython and put him on the stone, the seeing stone, and if he reaches out with the Force, another Jedi may sense it and come and train him. But there aren't many Jedi left." So in a way, she kept her word, because she said she would help get him trained, but didn't say she would train him himself. So that's pretty much the gist of the episode. So now Din and Grogu have another place to go, but I have a feeling we're not going to get there right away. I think there's going to be a showdown with Grand Moff Gideon soon, because he's tracking him. And I think Ahsoka is going to go off on her own, and that's, like I said, I think that there's a big Disney thing coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I think that'll be announced, that there's going to be an Ahsoka Disney Plus series, because the fact that they brought in Rosario Dawson, who's a big enough name to carry a series, and they mention Thrawn, I have a feeling that's going to become its own series. And they could actually get the voice actor who did Thrawn to play him in the series, because not only does he look kind of like him, but he's a really good actor. Lars Mikkelsen, Mads Mikkelsen's brother. Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal and Doctor Strange and a bunch of other great movies. And Le Chiffre in Casino Royale. Well, Lars, his brother, has also been a big actor, and he played one of them, I think it was Magnuson, in the Sherlock series with Benedict Cumberbatch. So they've both been bad guys for Benedict Cumberbatch. I just realized that. So, but that's how the episode ends. Don't know where they're going next, but like I said, I don't know either. It feels like the season's going to either end with Gideon getting the child, or now I feel like maybe the season will end with him, them having a big thing to get, Gideon gets the child and he has to pull these people together to get the child back. And then he ends with the child on the stone reaching out with his feelings. So, and we won't know what happens until next season. I don't know which way they're going to go. I think either one would be okay with me. Having to wait for so long for the next season, I think I'd rather have the reaching out with his feeling, because I'd hate to have a cliffhanger, but we'll see how they do it. Anyway, that was the episode. It was really good. Now, the one neat thing is there was a villager who kept making contact with Mandalorian named Wing, and he becomes the governor of the city at the end, according to the write-ups. He is Wing Tao Chow, an artist and an Imagineer at Disneyland. So this was a little way of honoring him. So I thought that was really neat to have him in there. And that's pretty much the extent of this episode. So I will be back next Friday with another video, though I'll probably have a video in between about Black Panther 2. I've already recorded, I just haven't edited it yet. So both of those will, that'll be up soon, and then I'll be back next Friday for the next episode. No idea anything about that one. I don't know if we'll be going straight to Tython. I don't know if Moff Gideon will pop up. I don't even know who's directing it. They haven't said any of that. So fingers crossed it's going to be something cool. And y'all have a good week. Hope you had a good holiday too. Remember to hit the like, subscribe buttons and all that stuff. And I'll talk to you soon.